Hello, everyone. Why am I playing Satie? The Gymnopédie #1. He made up wild titles, didn't he? Anyway, why am I playing that? Because I wanted to talk about stride tonight. Stride, playing in the left hand. Now, stride is a word that was used for jazz players in the 40s and 50s for a type of playing where you would do a lot of what ragtime looked like. Ragtime was kind of this sort of thing, but they would do things, that kind of thing, where they would back and forth, and that was stride, where they had a bass note and a chord, bass note and chord. Well, Satie was doing stride, a very slow stride. And the reason I want to talk about it is I had some students that were frightened to death of the thought of going from here to here endlessly. And it's part of the legato curse, believe it or not. See, people are pretty comfortable if they're going to go, because that one they can kind of negotiate reaching there and keeping the hand in the same place. But the minute you go off the reservation down here, it gets a little intimidating for some people. But there are ways to practice it, and that's what I want to talk about tonight. I figured Sunday night, let's just do kind of an interesting topic. So, stride. There's examples of stride that are frightening, actually, from the 1800s. And whatever, we look at Franz Liszt and his Hungarian Rhapsody. That kind of thing could scare the daylights out of you. Yeah. Okay, this kind of stuff. While the right hand's doing that, I really don't play it. But it's a great part. I always like playing that one part with the left hand just bouncing. It feels great when you can do it. So it is possible, and your hands get to a point where they do it on their own, kind of. So let's talk about how we would go about practicing a little stride kind of playing. Funny enough, I'm thinking of another piece, Beethoven. Yeah, he went in his fourth piano concerto. Yeah, he's doing stride there, yeah. I can probably think of a lot of examples that go back to maybe even early 1800s, late 1700s, I don't know. I'm sure I can find something. But, okay, how do we solve this problem? Well, the easiest way to solve it is to start striding in a way that you're comfortable. I would say a good exercise at first, just to learn to do some stride, would be to play like C and G with the left hand, and then increase the interval as you go along. And eventually you're not going to be able to reach it. You're going to have to go back and forth. You know, it's kind of like Pong, the game Pong, where you see that ball going back and forth like this. It never quite stays on either end. It goes across and then back and then across and then back. It touches the wall for a second, comes right off. So this would be a good exercise, I think. Now, if you start to get to one that's a little uncomfortable, stay on it. Oh, the F, that's kind of tough. Okay. Maybe go back and forth between two of them. Don't stay anywhere. Come off those keys. You might stay on that one a little bit. What happens is your hand starts to feel the distance. It starts to get used to it. The piano is not quite as tolerant as you think it is. You can be a little off but still get the right key. So, the recommendation, go down. Now maybe come back up. Okay, that would be one thing to practice. Another one might be to practice coming up to 2 keys. Okay, so you would have the C. Now, a lot of you, what you're going to do is this. You're going to get caught up a little bit in the legato curse. You're going to go down to the B, and you're going to play that. Now, that's correct. If you're going to play something that's using inversions, that would be right. But for the sake of the idea of stride, keep the 1 and 3 there the whole time. I left that an F, sorry. And again, you might want to do the C here a lot of times. If you do it slowly, though, make sure you come off the keys. Don't go, C, okay, C. Don't do that. Don't do that. Even if you're doing that. But the more you can get it to come off the keys, like the game of Pong, as I said, the ball never sticks to a wall in Pong. Make it come off. Be on your way. Even if you have to think about where those notes are, keep your hand here. Let it stay here. That's the habit you're trying to develop. If you miss a note, forget about it. Doesn't matter. Oops, I missed the note. You're learning this action, regardless of the notes. I mean, I can play it pretty well because I've done this for 100 years, okay? But if you're first starting it, stay in the air. Stay here. Now, what about going up the other way? That's also stride. You might be striding, and so that would be the right hand going up chords and going back down chords. So it's not like that's not going to happen. That's going to happen also. It's a stride thing, okay? So, now some people might ask, well, what about the right hand? Does that have to learn this stuff? Well, in a way, but we don't, see, the reason that stride is so common in the left hand is you have a bass note and chord. Now, we can't reach those if our right hand's busy. So, we alternate them. We alternate bass, this. You might stay down here for 2 of them. Can be that way, but you still have the stride. It's in there. It's in there. Okay. Now, black keys. All right. Yeah, we're going to play black keys, okay? I don't know what to tell you to practice with that. I would take something easy like maybe B flat. Getting some black keys in there is a good idea. B flat minor, maybe. Where you have to play back further on the black keys. Those would all be more advanced. But that's okay. They're all possible. Here's part of the Maple Leaf Rag. You're going to see black keys. I'll show you black keys. Okay, so you want to see, and the hand, look where the hand is. Right against the board. Back here. But right now, that's advanced. We don't want to go there. You just simply, if you have that fear, just want to do that little exercise. C, G, B, G. And when you get beyond it, bounce back and forth. Get used to that feel. That's what you're looking for. Now, if some of you feel that you're going to get that right away and it's going to happen and you're hot shots, I'll give you a little something to try. Oh, by the way, all these little exercises will be posted on PianoAt10.com under resources. Let's put our right hand up here and let's do a real simple right hand. See, no moving around, just the tune, that's all. And you all know the song, all right? And let's put a really simple accompaniment to it in stride. Okay? I think that's the version I'll put in there. That's pretty good. This one will be good. Maybe that one's better. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. Right, okay. Right, okay, that might be the one I do. Hands are a little more centralized. The C and the E. That probably is the one I'll do. Yeah. Now, the advanced version would be... which is funny enough, to the pianist, that one's actually almost a little easier, because it's easier to find these two keys than it is these two. It's much more natural, as I said, for the hand to have the longer key. But I'll do that one. I'll put it in there right after the other one. But that's how you practice. You learn something that's got stride. You don't run away from it, which is what a lot of people want to do with this stride stuff. Even the Sati, see, the Sati is a little forgiving because you get an extra beat. Oh, pedal, I'll mention that in a minute. He gives you that extra beat. 1, 2, 3. And on the third beat, you can move your hand down and get ready, okay? 2, 3, 1, 2. But it's a real stride. You're moving right up there. If he took out that beat, it would be... So that would be a real stride, and I'm using pedal, which I was going to talk about a little bit. You can phrase your strides so it doesn't sound like you're coming off the key. That's another thing I might put in the music, some pedaling. You can do. You're trying to do this, but you don't want to fool yourself thinking you're going to reach them all. You're not going to reach them all, but you can make it sound like that. And everybody's yelling, boy, you got big hands. Okay? Well, you don't. All right? Well, maybe you do, but you're not going to really... Van Cliburn maybe could reach that. Rachmaninoff maybe could reach it. They wouldn't, though. The funny part is, we don't reach these things. When I'm playing... stuff that I can very often reach, I don't reach it. I can reach these notes, but when I'm playing that piece, which is a grade 1 piece, I actually stride it. I do a stride on it, and it could be these. See, it's just further. But it's the same basic thing. So the stride is really quite useful. Getting back to the right hand again, we don't have a bass note and a chord, but do we have to do jumps? Sure. I'm thinking of a Liszt La Campanella. I haven't looked at that in years, but yeah, so we have to learn to do those kind of things. I wouldn't call it stride, but it's stride-like. Stride-ish, all right? Yeah, I forgot about that. Right, sorry. Was it? Of course, he uses the pedal. And you can get pretty good at that kind of thing. But you got to practice it slowly, but you got to be in the air. See, that's the thing. Slow practicing here, if you stay on the keys, isn't going to be of no use at all. They're all staccato. And you're judging that distance right there. I'm not very good at it because I haven't played that in probably 40 years. And I never really learned it, but I played around with it to remember the notes. That's Gershwin. That's in the Rhapsody in Blue. That's like an inverted stride. Normally it would be that, but he goes, that I play. That I can do, okay? Anyway, so I hope you've gotten an idea on the stride here. I'm going to post those examples, but try it. It's not impossible. The only thing I can stress is you're never on the keys. You're off them. And you're always in motion. Somehow you're always in motion. Okay? So, enjoy it. I think, what is this? Mary Had a Little Lamb? Yeah, enjoy your Mary Had a Little Lamb. Try to play it. All right? I will see you tomorrow. And remember, when words fail, music speaks.